Welcome to the first of its kind series of conversations that shall inspire you, make you think, and truly touch your heart. Little Khayal series is a special initiative of Shrota House that attempts to bring together today's young and bright generation of children who have stepped into the world of Indian classical music and expert practitioners of these art forms across the world. Listen to their candid conversations around various aspects of music practice while learning about their musical journeys. You take away lessons for life no matter who you are or where you are in this world. We hope this series gives you useful insights in general and that you enjoy listening to the raw, honest, and straightforward words of these children straight from their hearts. There is definitely something for everyone to learn and appreciate. Without further ado, we present to you with lots of love our inquisitive children alongside sadhaks of music who have dedicated their lives to admire, practice, and celebrate the Indian classical art music. Welcome to episode 1 of Little Khayal series. Today, Ms. Zai Sudan Paranjape shall be conversing with Dr. Revati Kamath, who is an exponent of Hindustani classical music, a vocalist, musician, and an educator.
साधो ऐसा ही गुरु भावे साधो ऐसा ही गुरु भावे राग रंग का भर भर प्याला पीवे और पिलावे साधो ऐसा ही गुरु भावे साधो. Namaste, Tai. How are you?
Namaste, Jai. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So I'm really, I'm feeling very nice that I'm getting to, know you today through this interview, and yeah, I feel very nice.
Same here. Even I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I'm really thankful to Madhumita for inviting me and sharing my ideas and experiences with all of you. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
So first, when my mother asked me that, when my mother told me that you should learn music, I was like about first or second standard. So my mother was like, "You should learn music." So I'm like, "No, no, I don't have any interest in music." And actually, when I
Sorry
was,
to interrupt you, Zai. Before that, let
huh?
me tell you that whenever Suchita used to practice at home, this girl used to क्रिएट अ हेल तो नेबर पूछते थे कि क्या हो रहा है नहीं मैं तानपुरा लेके बैठी हूँ तो जाई जोर से रोती है दैट वाज द सीन used to create havoc at home you just put the tanpura down yes so that is actually where it comes from yeah right go ahead हाँ
So then after that, when I grew up, and when I was like in first, second standard, my mother was like, "You should learn music." I'm like, "No, I'm not interested in music." And she's like, "You should give it a try." So I'm like, "Okay." So I thought that she's telling me that I should learn music from her, from my mother. But she's like, "No, I'm going to introduce you to my guru." So that is Revati Tai. So my mother's gurus, yeah. So when me and Revati Tai when we first met, Revati Tai asked me that, would you like to learn music from me? I was like, no. My thought was like, first of all, I didn't want to learn music, and if I did, I wanted to learn it from my mother and not anyone else. So so after that, but still, I attended some of Revati Mashi's classes, and then I started developing some interest in music. And then after some months, I changed my mind. Like, I think I have to learn music now.
Yes.
Um, the the music, first of all, Indian classical music, I started to hear it in a different way. My mother used to sing the ragas and all that, which I didn't understood at all. But Revati Mausi taught that batch which I used to attend. So like she taught it from the beginning, and I used to understand what she was teaching. So like I was like, huh, this is something interesting. So then so then I started developing interest in music, and then I joined a class, and now from second standard I'm learning from Revati University. Okay, so my first question is that how did you develop your interest in music and then choose it as your career? I mean,
Okay, so that brings all the memories today. Uh, See, I had never been a classical music buff. I was always a vivid listener of Bollywood music. Since my childhood, I grew up listening to Vivid Bharati, and that is how I developed my interest basically for Bollywood songs. So I
hmm.
used to listen to a lot of Lata ji, Asha ji, Kishore ji, Mohammad Rafi, Manade ji on every program that was broadcasted from All India Radio. And secondly, from my maternal and paternal side, all my relatives are really musically driven. And my one of my aunt is a poetess and a very good singer also.
Wow.
And she used to write little songs for us, for all of us. She used to write the songs for us. And we
Hmm.
used to meet every summer vacation. We used to meet at my uncle's place at Dharwad, and all cousins together we had a gala time, singing, reciting poems. And I remember even once she had written a play for us, which in
Wow.
which we had sung two lines. So we were very thrilled about it. And we
Hmm.
used to have an informal get together where all of us would used to sit and sing songs. And that was the musical environment when I was a
Hmm.
small girl.
भी है जवा जवा हवा भी है रवा रवा सुना रहा ये समा सुनी सुनी सीधा सीता फजा भी है जवा जवा वही घड़ी वही शहर वही हवा वही लहर नई है मंजिले मगर वही डगर वही सफर नजर गई जिधर जिधर मिली वही निशानियाँ सुना रहा ये समा सुनी सुनी सीधा सिता फजा भी है जवा जवा
And secondly, my father was also posted in the services. So I never had a chance to stay at one place and learn classical music as such. But I used to sing whenever my parents used to go anywhere, they would say, ki, chalo kuch ga ke dikhao. So I used to sing some songs. But when I came to Pune, it was then that I started learning classical music. But it's very interesting I find it very interesting that my entry to the world of classical music was to Ashwini Tai's first HMV record, which was of Yaman and Tilak Kamor. And that was the first time I ever heard, classical music very seriously. And I was just attracted towards the voice, the gaiki, and the soulfulness of classical music. And I never thought that I would be making a career out of this. So coming back to my Pune incident, when I came back to Pune after my 10th standard, it was a decision making time, what to do next. Science lenge, commerce lenge, whatever. So my mother insisted that I pursue a career in classical music. The reason behind it was that my eldest sister, Anuradha, who is an architect, she's a very good singer. And she used to learn music when she was small, but somehow she didn't pursue it. And my mother always felt that she should have done something in music. So she had hopes from me, and there I was to, fulfill my mother's dreams. And that is when I started learning classical music. Uh, so that's it.
Wow. And from whom did you learn music? And then how was your journey as a student learning Indian classical music?
Well, I started learning from Pandit Dr. Mohan Kumar Darekar, who is a disciple of Pandit Jitendra Abhisheki and late Pandit Rajan Mishra ji and also Sajan Mishra ji. I learned from him, and he was a very good teacher. He laid the basics of Indian classical music, and I had a very good training with him for a period of around 6 to 7 years. And during that period, I understood what it meant to be consistent, to be dedicated, to be, pour your heart into music, जिसे कहते हैं. I remember his sentence. He had once told me कि I've been practicing for such a long time, फिर भी अभी शर्ट मिल नहीं रहा है. So I used to wonder कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है, शर्ट मिलता मन नहीं है मतलब क्या होता है, ऐसे ही सर कुछ बोल रहे हैं. I used to think that way, but it was not that. So looking back now, I understand what he meant to say that. So in this way, I got a very systematic training from Mohan Darekar ji. But throughout that period also, I was attracted toward Ashwini Tai's Gayaki. And I used to accompany her on some of the concerts also, because a little relationship का यहाँ पे मामला है. So I'm related to her, and she is my cousin's wife. So we had a very good rapport with each other, and she knew that I was learning classical music. So whenever she was in Pune, she used to ask me to accompany her. And eventually, when I finished my graduation, I took permission from my sir to learn the nuances of Jaipur Atrauli Gharana from Ashwini Tai. And I'm really blessed that he gave me the permission very readily and without holding any grudge, which is, I feel, a very great gesture on his part. So that is how I started learning from Ashwini Tai. And with Ashwini Pai, I was around for 10 to 12 years. And that was a period when everything happened, like I finished my graduation, I finished my post-graduation in music. Then I got a fellowship from UGC, so I pursued PhD also. I got married, I had 2 children. So between that 10 to 12 year period, everything happened in that time only. But in spite of all this, I never stopped learning from her, and I used to go from Pune to Mumbai. And I must say that this was really possible because of very strong support from my parents, my in-laws, my husband, and that made it very easy for me to travel from Pune to Mumbai, learn, and come back the same day. So this was a routine that was followed almost for that long period. And after that, then I started learning from Pandit Dr. Arvind Thatte. And I was learning from him for around 10 years also. So in totality, I was really blessed, Zai, to have such good gurus, such amazing gurus, I must say,
Yes.
and such wonderful people, all of them, also highly talented, highly creative people, and yet very humble. And I mean, that's the best thing I got besides music for Hai Hi. But other than that, I learned a lot from their personalities, and I really owe them a lot. So that is how my journey as a student. I'm still a student of music, yes, because I've got so much from them. It was not possible for me to digest everything at that same time. I'm still digesting a part of it now. So that is how learning process continues throughout the life. It is a never-ending process. And by sharing their teachings with all of you, I am understanding things in a much better perspective now. So I always say that teaching is in fact a learning in process.
Wow. So, can you just, I mean, sing a few lines of some bandis that your gurus have taught you? Like, we would like to hear that.
It's a difficult question, Jai, because there are so many compositions that are really beautiful.
Yeah,
Uh, I need to just give me a minute. Uh,
sure.
yeah, so maybe I can sing Bandish in Rag Bageshri by Ashwini Tai. And I would say that Ashwini Tai's contribution to classical music has really been immense. But with respect to bandishes, I feel it's even more contributory because she has composed bandishes in tals which are generally not sung in vocal music. They're not performed in vocal music. So tals like Matta Tal, Rudra Tal,
Wow.
7.5 beats, 9.5 beats.
Uh-huh.
So these are some of the compositions that are really mind-blowing and outstanding. So I'll try to present a composition in Rag Bageshri, which is in 9.5 matras.
Wow, that'd be great.
मना मोहन श्याम मना मोहन श्याम सुंदर रूप मना मोहन श्याम सुंदर रूप मनोहर सोहत अधर मुरलिया मना मोहन श्याम सुंदर रूप मनोहर सोहत अधर मुरलिया मना मोहन श्याम मोर मुकुट
So, Tai, as you right now told about your gurus, and so I wanted to ask that other than your gurus, I mean, usually what happens is guru has a lot of impact on the student, right? The way of singing and everything. So, I just wanted to ask you that other than your gurus, whom do you think that your music has influence of? I mean, who has a more influence on your music than your gurus,
Okay.
apart from your gurus?
This again is a difficult question, Zai, because I have listened to a lot of Kishore Sai, Bhimsen ji, Jasraj ji, uh, Abhishek ji, Mansoor ji, Kishori Tai. So Malini Tai, Veena Tai. I just can't stop myself from saying these names because they have really influenced me in the sense when I was growing up as a student. I'm still growing as a student. Uh, they have affected me in my different phases of being a student. And so I must say that I have been influenced by all of them in some way or the other. But if you ask me, a major portion of my influence has been of that of Gana Saraswati Kishori Tai Amonkar. So she's inspired me a lot. And as you said, other than the gurus, Kishori Tai has been the greatest influence on me.
Okay. So now that you're conducting classes for so many years, what is the biggest challenge that you have faced as a teacher?
Well, as I said regarding Arambha, the challenge was to get the children interested into music. Now I face the challenge of them getting them to do the riyas very consistently, and it is quite difficult for the younger children who are as young as around 6 to 7 years old. But yes, we do imbibe that discipline in the younger children also, that they have to practice for at least 10 minutes. And with
Yes.
the older children, the dedication has to increase as they grow up. So, but the problem here is that as the children grow up, their academic demands are also increasing, and they are already engaged with some other forms of art or sports where they need to commit also. So it's quite difficult for them also to give their full attention to this part. So I think that is the main problem nowadays. So I luckily have some parents who are not pushing their child into do this, do that, do this class, yes, sports karo, wo karo. And I find that those children are doing very well. So I would take this opportunity to appeal to the parents to not to push your child into every available slot or every available space that you see, so that the child can concentrate at least on one part of the I mean to say, the child can concentrate on music only, or dance, or theater, or art, or painting, whatever. So I think it's the parents' responsibility to see that the children are taking up only two hobbies at a time, but they are doing their hobbies, they're pursuing their hobbies very seriously. So if
Yes,
this is solved, then I think most of the problems are solved.
definitely. Okay. Actually, we have learned many things from Tai, like uh, to respect, to give respect to the person in front of you, or to talk with respect, or like when we talk about some great personalities or great singers, so we talk it in a different way, like upon मोठा कंस नाव I don't know how to say it in English.
Yeah, you just touch your ears when you mention the name of,
हाँ,
great.
yes. So giving respect to the other person, and that is the main thing. I mean, when I just started learning music from Tai, it was like uh, I didn't have a good chat with the person standing in front of you. But when I observed Tai chatting with other person, I was like, oh, this is how to chat with other persons. And
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a question that when we started learning music from you, you taught us from your book called as Arambha. So, what is that book really about? I mean,
Yes, so Arambha was something I did really for children, but later on I also realized that it is good for any other beginner in of classical music. So the reason why I wrote Arambha, the beginning of a musical journey, was that I found that children were not very much interested in alankars or in practicing a lot. It was very much needed, which is very much needed to build a very good foundation. And many times it so happened that parents who used to come to me, to get admission into
mhm.
our school, they would say कि they have learned up to 2 3 levels, but they are not very happy. So I said, why aren't they happy? When they're learning music, they should be happy. So they said कि no, they are just taught कि one single bandish hai, you have to sing 3 to 4 alaps, you have to sing 4 to 5 tans, and that is it. And they have to mug it up. So it becomes very monotonous and
Huh.
very boring for the child to learn everything as it is given. So at school also children have to do, they have to mug up, it's all rote learning. So the same principle can't be applied when you're teaching a live art like music. And I thought
Yes.
that most of the students, most of the children especially, uh, maybe due to this factor, they may dissuade themselves from learning music. हमको नहीं सीखना, it's very boring. क्या आऊ करना है? So I just wanted to get away, get create a good image of Indian classical music amongst children, and I wanted them to realize that yes, classical music is very interesting if it is made
Yes.
interesting. So we also had a program called Gunjan, in which we had, children from 5 to 15 years doing instrumental music, vocal music, and Bharatnatyam
Wow.
on one stage. And that was precisely the reason that we created this program. Me, along with my two other colleagues, Sandhya Dharma and Aparna Kelkar, we created this program so that we contribute a little bit towards initiating and sustaining interest for classical music amongst children. So later on, Arambha, I thought of Arambha as something that followed Gunjan, because I was already thinking on those lines. Ki, what should I do to make music more interesting? So initially, the for the foundation, I worked upon a few alankars, and later on, I realized कि नहीं, सिर्फ अलंकार करने से कुछ नहीं होगा. You need to have some, a fun in it. So
हाँ.
I started thinking of sargam geets, and that is how एक से दो से करके around I think there are 14 to 15 sargam geets in that
Yes.
CD. And the reason I chose only sargam geet was because I wanted the children to learn the basics of sur in different possible ways, not only in alankar. See, you can learn swars in different forms, like sa re ga ma pa, ye to alankar ho gaya. But when you sing ga re sa ni dha pa dha ni sa ma ga re ga ma ga re, or pa ma ga re ga ma pa ma ga re ga ma pa dha ni dha pa ma ga re sa. So you need to
Yes.
play with the notes, and that is when a child might find it interesting. So when I started working on the सरगम गीत, I said कि सभी सरगम गीत नहीं होने चाहिए, थोड़ा और थोड़ा twist होना चाहिए. So I thought of making a talmala in which the composition begins from one tal and it ends, goes through different tals and it ends again in the first tal. So like in this, I think I have taught you the sargam geet and in the
Yes.
tabla geet, which has
Yes.
only the bowls of tabla. So these all this was an experiment, and I wanted to experiment with every possible thing that I could lay my hands on. So I can surely say that Arambha was my experiment with not only with children but also with beginners who even Lately, I got a call from a person in US saying that he had purchased the CD and book many years ago, and he hadn't much paid attention to that book because he said कि though he was learning from a very known person, he said कि मैं क्यों इसको, ये तो बच्चों का काम है, I don't want to have a look at it. But then when he was learning, when he was learning from this person, he realized that
Hmm.
he's falling short of practicing the sur. So pakka sur karne ke liye he thought of just going through the book, and then he found it very interesting, and he messaged me and he said that your book is really contributing a lot. It's helping me a lot with my sur, and I owe a lot to you. So these are some of the experiences that I'm getting. So Arambha is basically not only for children. Now I can say it is for any beginner in classical music, and that is why Arambha was created, basically to create, sustain the interest for classical music amongst children like you.
Wow, and yes, I mean, definitely. When you also taught me from that book, I mean, it was, I mean, the concepts, this type, म्हणजे, I don't know how to say that, but identifying the swaras at their positions and
Yeah,
also getting to know the tal in a different and a very nice way. So it also helped me a lot.
that's
So
good.
that was, the book is really, I mean, I like it very much.
Yes, it's
Uh,
really full of all pictures which are, very uh, cute pictures that the child would
yeah.
really identify. Yes, and you
And
get to enjoy better. Yeah.
the story which is at the starting of the book, that story is also really interesting. I've read that a
Yes,
couple of
because
times.
I thought कि instead of just saying कि uh, this is there are seven swars, there are five vikrit swars, so in total
Hmm.
we have 12 swars. So instead of saying that, we can put it differently. Why not weave all
Yes.
these concepts into a story? So children are more attracted towards stories, so the story part can teach them also, and at the
Yes.
same time it can be very interesting. So that was the reason behind it.
Oh wow. Pa dha pa ma ga sa ni sa da ni sa ga pa dha pa ma ga sa ni sa da ni sa ga ma pa dha ni pa dha sa ni dha pa ma ga re pa dha pa ma ga sa ni sa da ni sa ga pa dha pa गम प सा नि धा रे ग म नि ध प सा रे ग ध प म नि सा रे ध प म ग ग म प सा नि धा रे ग म नि ध प सा रे ग ध प म नि सा रे ग म प ध नि सा नि ध प ध प म ग सा नि सा ग नि सा ग प ध प रे सा ग रे सा म ग रे सा प म ग रे सा ध प म ग रे सा नि ध प म ग रे सा रे ध प म ग रे सा रे ग म प ध प म ग सा नि सा र नि सा ग प ध प म ग सा नि सा र नि सा ग म प ध नि प ध सा नि ध प म ग रे प ध प म ग सा नि सा र नि सा ग प ध प. Okay, so just out of my curiosity, I wanted to ask you that how do you handle your tension when you're on stage or when any technical difficulty occurs? So how do you handle the situation at that time? Because it's already very tense before going on stage,
Yeah.
for me at least.
So have you faced such a problem, Zai, whenever we had our socials?
Many a times. I mean, before going on stage, I'm like, "No, I have to do this, I have to do that," and I just, I mean, I I ignore what I have to actually perform. I mean, it gets ignored. But and when I'm on stage, I am literally shaking like. And even though I have practiced a couple of times, I mean, I've practiced the what I have to sing, even though I've done that, but when I'm on stage, like I don't know. I mean, the practice goes like in vain.
Yes.
Huh.
So I think a part of this has to do with the personality also. You can see that some children or some artists are really they're really born performers, and they just capture the stage as soon as they settle down, and the performance has already begun with their capturing the audience. But there are many who face this problem. I have also been one of them. In fact, when you're saying about your nervousness, I remember my old days when I was a beginner in the performing area. I also used to get nervous, irrespective of how many times I have or how well I have done my riyaz. But I think that's a part of the personality, and it needs a little time to settle down. So the more you sing in front of a lot of people, the more opportunities you get to perform, the more it will be helpful for you to get rid of the stage fear. And nowadays there are so many other things available that you participate in number of non-musical you can consider the non-musical aspects also, like speaking in front of a class, or sharing your views in a small group. So you get a little this confidence. It contributes very little at a time, but over a period of time I'm sure it helps in building up your confidence level, definitely. uh, if you don't practice this, and if you just keep on saying ki, nahi, nahi, everything is going to be all right, I am going to be really good on stage, however might as you will say it, I don't think it will help much, because within you, if you're not very confident, no matter how much you speak of, it's not going to help a lot. So I feel that you need to be confident from within. And that definitely comes as you grow up, as you meet more people, as you connect with more people, as you do many things. Like you can just do a comparing, comparing for a small program that also needs facing the audience, however
Yes.
for a little time. But this is how and that is why we are having the monthly concerts at our
Yes. Yes.
music school. The basic reason behind having those concerts is for the students to overcome their fear. So the more you should be making more of the most of this opportunity. That is also there. So regular practice and having faith in yourself, I think this should solve the problem for you.
Okay. How do you define a good stage performance?
Stage performance. Uh, well, when you think of a stage performance, there are two aspects to it. Uh, One is the musical aspect, which includes the musician, his accompaniment, and the other aspect is the technical aspect, which is the public address system. Then there's a third aspect also, the organizer, the audience. So all these aspects are to be considered when we think of a stage performance. And the fourth and the most important, I feel, the psychology of the performer on that day at that time. That also is very responsible. So, in general, when you think of a good stage performance, I would say that considering the technical part is very good, what remains is the musical aspect, and that is where the performer, the main artist who is performing, a lot depends on his psyche that day. So it depends upon, how do I put it? Mm, yeah. So how well the musician has performed. Sur, Tal, Lay, Rag Darshan, Bandish ki Kehen, everything counts in a good performance. How well it is going with the Lay, Laykari kaise ki hai, Sur ka maza kaise liya hai. So all this counts into a good performance. And also I feel the ability of the performer to connect with the audience is also important. So that creates a two-way passage for the music to flow, because the artist is communicating to the audience through her music. And if
Yes.
it is reaching the audience, then the audience will definitely receive it and they will reciprocate in a similar way. So I think the where the give and take is going on very well, I can safely say that's a good performance. And the role of
Okay.
accompanists also, I must say, is very important. How
Yes.
well they support the main artist, how is the teamwork on the stage, all this matters a lot.
Definitely. Okay, so now that we are in this pandemic situation and it has affected each and everyone's life, so I would like to know that what is your evaluation of COVID-19 impact on your music or your music related life?
Okay, so in music, for music in general, if you would ask me, yes, it's affected a lot of musicians over
Hmm.
the world, I must say.
Yes.
And uh, it's quite obvious because there are no live concerts happening, and
Yes.
it's a really pathetic sight to see for most of the artists who are other
Hmm.
than musicians, also the backstage artists, people
Yes.
working in theater, in the cinema, on the TV serials,
Yes.
and even dancers. Name any form of art, and you have, it's everywhere. It's in every sphere, not only in art or the entertainment industry. But yes, it's been badly hit, and people are trying to, find alternative ways of coping up with this stress. As far as I am concerned, I am missing a lot on the offline classes. I
Hmm.
love meeting you for the 2 months that we had in December and January.
Yes.
We had reconnected, and I was really looking forward to a longer, association in physical this thing. But currently, due to the restrictions, it's not possible. So we need to accept that. Uh, thing that I look positively at this pandemic also, in the sense that it has kept the music going. So, irrespective of the fact that we are meeting each other physically or not, we are
Hmm.
connected musically together, and I feel that is very important because
Yes.
just imagine. I at least couldn't imagine myself without teaching or meeting all of you, even online. So I feel really blessed and really thankful to God that उसकी दुआ से सब ठीक है. So we are meeting each other. Our music is going on. Plus, I learned a few small technical things like
Yeah.
video editing, video shooting,
Yes. Yes.
some aspects that I hadn't given much attention before.
Hmm.
So, and I did a lot of. I had a lot of time, so I had lots to do with music, learning new ragas, uh,
Hmm.
learning bandishes from the books. So I feel that this pandemic period has opened up quite some avenues for me.
Wow, that's great. Now that you are an Indian classical music singer, what is your opinion about Bollywood music or Western music? Because generally we have, right, the Indian classical music singer does not hear a lot of Bollywood music, and such kind of things we have, right? We hear it. So, is it the same with you, or we would like to know that?
As I told you, I grew up listening to Vivid Bharati, so it's very clear that I'm a Bollywood buff. I love those old music
No,
melodies.
but I'm also including the present Bollywood music.
Yes. Yeah, coming to that, you said Bollywood music and Western music, so I wouldn't like to comment on Western music as I'm not very much familiar with it. Whatever
Okay.
I have heard, like some symphonies of Mozart and Beethoven, I found them very soothing. I couldn't follow it much, but I could, uh, admire that music. I
Hmm.
could appreciate that music. But as far as the contemporary Bollywood music is concerned, I like the soulful part of it, the classical
Hmm.
part of it. So there are many songs in even in today's Bollywood music where really the words are really good, the music
Yes.
is good, the singer is good. So I wouldn't say that everything is bad or not like that. So my cup of music for Bollywood in today's reference would be something soulful or something classical based.
Oh, wow. Apart from music, what are your hobbies or what do you like to do in your leisure times? Would like to know that.
So when I'm not singing, I'm in the kitchen looking for some new recipe, trying out some new recipes. Most of them are good, but I do fail with some recipes very miserably. Uh, so, but my family is kind enough to accept that also. Uh, so I love cooking and I like to try out new dishes and experiment a lot with different stuffs in the kitchen. Then I also love to do embroidery. Not
Wow.
that I'm doing it right now, but yes, I'm fond of that and also of painting. Not a very good painter, but yes, I like to do some design sorts of things. Like I had created a nameplate which had a Varli painting on it.
Wow.
So I keep on experimenting these things, and I like to do gardening also. So कुछ समय उसमें भी जाता है.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were not a singer by profession, what would your profession be?
Ah, it's quite a question. um, I think I would have been in the services like my
Wow.
father was, either mostly in the army because I have seen that life and I have seen the dedication. We all know how dedicated our
Yes.
soldiers are, and I would
Yes.
definitely love to do something for them. And another choice would be a doctor also, because I would have loved to serve the nation, the people. I would have loved to do that. So these are the two professions that I would have loved to take up.
Wow. I know we have learned about your musical side, but I just wanted to ask out of curiosity that like when you were small and when you were small, did you do kind of some pranks? Or this is a really, I mean, out of context question, but I'm curious about it. That
Uh,
did any did you do any pranks or did any funny incident happen like
well,
that?
not. I was not a very prankster. I was quite a curious child. But yes, I was indirectly responsible for some mischief in the class. So, as I remember it, because I remember this incident very clearly, I was in eighth or ninth, and I was the monitor of the class. I was supposed to look after the discipline of the class when the teacher was not around, and we were expected to do some work on our own, and all of us were doing the work, but at one point we all got very bored. So that time there was this Tree of Unity cartoon film which was very
Huh.
popular on Doordarshan, and we used to
Yes.
watch it. And there was one dance in it where the people danced at the end, and that was a very funny dance, and we used to love that dance. And there was one student in our class, Rupinder, who used to dance very well. She used to imitate that act very well. So when nobody was in the class, हमने कहा चलो let's have that dance का
Oh
मजा
my
लेते
God.
हैं. So I asked her to do that dance, and it was really my misfortune that the principal was on the round and he happened to enter the class at that time. And then I had a scolding.
Oh my God.
That's all. But then I didn't play any prank as such, but I was definitely responsible for it indirectly.
Oh my God. Because we in our class, we keep on doing pranks and everything.
I
So
know, I
I was
know.
just
I
curious
don't
about.
know what you'll do when I'm teaching online also. Because I really don't know. I don't have a track of all your do, because I have heard that not you, me, but mostly the children, the college going students are, having a merry time, and the teacher is poor thing. She's slogging and teaching out to the students, around 60 of them at a time online. So I just don't know what pranks you people do when I'm teaching. I hope not.
No, no. While your class is going on, we don't do any pranks because we are so interested in the music that you teach. So that's, I mean, the attention does not go towards the pranks. So, okay. So apart from music, these are some questions which are listed. So, I mean, can we do a rapid fire round? Like I ask a question and then you have to answer it in 1 or 2 words.
Okay, fine, I'll try.
Okay, so favorite place to visit?
Dharwad,
Wow. Favorite outfit?
salwar kameez,
Tea or coffee?
tea,
Oh, wow. Favorite dish?
aloo chaat.
Okay. Favorite book or favorite author? Anything.
It's too difficult, but Annette Blyton still stays on my list. She's the person who created love for books within me, and I've read lots of Annette Blyton books in my childhood. I still love to read Mallory Taz, St. Clair's. Yes, so she's one of my favorites. But as far as Marathi literature is concerned, I love reading Goni Dandekarji's books, and it's really difficult to pinpoint any author as such. But overall, these two are my all-time favorites.
Great. Favorite art apart from music?
Sorry,
Favorite art apart from music?
embroidery,
Wow. Street food or restaurant food, what will you prefer?
restaurant.
Oh, that's all. I have questions for rapid fire. So that was very nice knowing you and your musical side and your non-musical side. So
Even
I,
since I was while I was conversing with you, I just felt that I'm revisiting my childhood, my school, Dharwad days, and it all came up so beautifully. So I must really thank Madhumita for that.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
मोरारे मितवा तुम तो 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 से नेहाला का कैसे कर आऊं पास मोरारे मितवा तुम तो से नेहाला का कैसे कर आऊं पास मोरारे मितवा तुम तो मोरारे सखियन सब मिल घेर लई सखियन सब मिल घेर लई है और